Okay, good afternoon. The April 27th meeting of the Human Services Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Miss Andrews? Here. Mr. Daniele is excused. Miss Cayley? Here. Mr. Lightfoot? Dr. Quattro? Here. Mr. Rocco? Here. Chairwoman Draw?
Here. Is there anyone? I believe we do have some speakers signed up to speak.
We have 6 speakers signed up this evening, and I'm going to call the first 3 speakers. Please come forward and address the committee and conclude when the timer sounds. Our first 3 will be Michael Warren Thomas, to be followed by Sue Gardner Smith, to be followed by Lizelle Schwartz. Please come forward.
Thank you very much for your time. We're back again this month to press for the option of having prepared foods at our local markets. Unfortunately, since this has been postponed, we will not have prepared foods as the markets open in June now, probably. That means that some restaurateurs and caterers who would have been there won't be able to be there because the restriction of how much the health permit costs. You'll hear a little bit of research about what other counties have done without, I believe, without changing regulations, but making it possible so that it's not just festivals that the Monroe County Health Department addresses, but these up-and-coming farmers markets, which there are more and more of throughout Monroe County. We're not here for fun. We're not being paid to be here this time or last month, and we'll be here next month. We're here because we're trying to build a community, and it's not a given that the West Side Farmers Market is going to be around next year. We need prepared foods there to help make a successful market. And the longer this gets put off, the more difficult it's going to be for us. We're not asking the county to spend any money. That's a little different. A lot of people come and ask you to spend money. We're actually asking you to accept some money from some vendors who want to come and sell, but who don't have thousands of dollars to justify coming to our market. But the county will have hundreds more dollars. That's not going to solve any budget deficits. But again, we're not asking you to spend any money. So I hope next month we can move this through quickly and get this in place so we can bring these vendors to our markets. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm the manager of the Brighton and the South Wedge Farmers Markets, and I'd like to request, as did Michael, that the county legislature reduce the fees charged by the health department for temporary food service permits to allow ready-to-eat foods to be sold at our farmers markets. Food safety rules are established by the New York State Sanitary Code, and all food service establishments in Monroe County must abide by these rules. Individual counties, however, can set up their own fee structures and permitting requirements, as Monroe County has done. About 30 counties in the state do not have full-service environmental health departments, including Ontario, Yates, Steuben, and Wayne counties, neighboring counties to ours. In those counties, district offices of the state health department provide permitting and inspection services. For a vendor seeking a temporary food service permit to serve prepared foods in one of those counties, the state charges a fee of $30 for the entire year. 1 permit is required. This compares to the Monroe County process, which requires a new permit every 14 days at a cost of $115 each time, or $1,265 for a 22-week season. This prohibitively expensive fee and cumbersome process effectively eliminates prepared foods from our markets. It also eliminates cooking demonstrations. Please help strengthen our markets and support local businesses by reducing these fees excuse me, and streamlining this process. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Lizelle Schwartz, and I'm a student at the University of Rochester. I've been involved with the farmers market for over a year now and see the positive aspect it has on not only the community around the market, but also the University of Rochester community as well. Students are looking for a place to come and get fresh fruits and vegetables in the fall and summer times when they're here. And it's a great way to show that Rochester can support students living on their own once out of the college campus. So it really encourages students to stay around for graduate school and beyond. And I think that it'll really help bring youth and young minds to this area. And I encourage you to pass this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next three speakers, Jackie Farrell, to be followed by John Curran, and lastly, Eleanor Coleman.
Thank you once again for listening to us. I don't have a lot of new information for you. We brought with us a number of letters of support and some zip code map with all of the zip codes that have sent us support over this issue, so you can look at that later. We do understand that President Jeff Adair has rejected Mr. Lightfoot's proposal to change the fees for prepared food vendors at farmers markets. We would like you to encourage you to change his mind. Other counties do not follow these guidelines, so we disagree that it is a New York State issue. I know for a fact that some of you in this room practice good nutrition in your eating habits. This proposal is about that. This proposal is about building community. This proposal is about supporting small businesses. This proposal will bring revenue to the county as markets will be paying for the one-time fee. At this point, the markets aren't paying because they aren't using the food vendors. This proposal will benefit everyone involved. It's a simple amendment that becomes a win-win situation. What we are trying to do is a positive thing for our community. It doesn't feel like we're asking for a great big change. I think we should just stop talking about it and do it. The market season is upon us. Food vending is one of the best ways to help our markets survive. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is John Curran. Grow Monroe. Eat fresh, buy local. It's a beautiful idea. It can happen. It does happen. It needs to stay happening. Our Westside Farmers Market needs to have its core supporters to make it happen week to week. We saw a loss in the number of our regular consumers, shoppers at the farmers market, when we had a stop of the prepared food vending. We need to have our core group of supporters there to be able to have our neighborhood benefit from the fresh foods. It's well known in our neighborhood we have only about 85% of our corner stores do not carry fresh fruits, vegetables, or milk. 85% do not. So when we do have a chance to have good nutrition in our neighborhood, we need to preserve that opportunity. Please find the will, please find the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Eleanor Coleman. I'm the Director of Youth and Family Services at SWAN, Southwest Area Neighborhood Association. We're located down the street from the Westside Farmers Market. We have a greenhouse. We teach kids how to grow produce, and they go down to the Westside Farmers Market and they sell it. One of the things we also have is an after-school program from 2 to 6, and it would be wonderful if the parents could leave from there, pick up their kids, and go to the market and still have time to have some dinner. The vendors that we have used have always been local from the neighborhood, so it gives another opportunity when you're building community for people to recognize the vendors, the owners of businesses in the neighborhood. We at SWAN are looking at increasing physical activity and reducing or helping change how people eat, and the market is a way for us to make that happen. It's walkable distance. It's right in the middle of the entire southwest quadrant, and the more people are out walking and having a venue to purchase fresh fruits and vegetables, the more we can work towards the whole issue of obesity. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This concludes the public forum.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. You have the March 23rd, 2010 minutes before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of this day. Next item is now new business. Next item on the agenda, Madam Clerk.
Referral 10-135, authorize a contract with Barbara.
Moved by Legislator Rocco, second by Legislator Quattro. Any discussion on this? Legislator Andrews. I'm sorry.
Administration, this referral just, I guess if I could just have an explanation of what it's for. It just strikes me as a little unusual, the $12,000 for administrative support staff services, and it's only for a 3-month period. If someone could explain to me what it is.
Through the chair. First, I'd like to indicate that this grant originally was accepted last year, and this is an additional contract, or part of the original plan with the contract. The full amount for this referral is for administrative support for this new grant. It is anticipated that there's going to be a lot of additional work that will be needed to be done in a shorter time period, as we try to get many of the grant deliverables done in a shorter time period once the contract is finalized.
Thank you. So I take it from reading this that Ms. Ertle's a recent retiree. Is that correct?
Through the chair, yes.
Okay. Were there other responders to this RFQ?
Through the chair, there was one other, total of 2.
Okay. Thank you.
Discussion. Then seeing none, I'm sorry, Legislator Andrews.
Just sorry about that. One follow-up question. Is there any reason why this work couldn't be done by in-house staff, or why it was necessary to contract with a retiree to do the work?
Through the chair, this is an entire new project, and we do not have any available staff to do this work.
Through the chair, is there anybody on staff who does work similar to this now? I mean, even though I understand it's a new project, but on any other projects that are similar?
Through the chair, yes, we have staff that do similar work, but this is an entirely new project to support.
And through the chair, it wouldn't be possible then to just hire somebody who in the position that does the work that's similar to this program, I mean, to provide these services rather than contracting out with a retiree?
Through the chair, this is an isolated program. We don't expect it to be long-term. We might have 2 years total, and so we don't. So our plan is to have this person support just this grant. Right now, we only have this grant approved, but we do expect future.
But through the chair, why couldn't a current staff person or a new person that actually was hired on the county payroll rather than a retiree do the work?
Through the chair, it's a short-term project. We would have to terminate, pretty quickly.
I'm sorry, through the chair, is it just this 3 months, or I thought you said it was going to go on for about 2 years?
A total of 2. It might be 1 more year. Correct. This is the first year of the project. Yep.
Okay. And lastly, is she a very recent retiree? Because I think that she's still listed under the county directory.
First, through the chair, this would just be a 3-month period now, and if in fact we get the grant again, we would have an additional time period that we would want to contract with her. I'd have to ask you to repeat your question. I apologize.
Oh, yes, sorry, I forgot. She's still listed on the county directory, so I'm assuming she retired rather recently.
Actually, through the chair, she retired over a year ago. Actually, she was available. She was on contract for other work prior to this time.
Oh, okay, so she's been on contract for a while then, so this is just a new project for her, is that correct?
Right. Through the chair, that's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other discussion, Legislator Lightfoot?
Yes, through you, Madam Chairman, to administration. I just want to know, what are we doing with the services after, because it appears that these services are being provided for 2 years, but this time period that we're contracting with is only for 3 months. So what happens after the 3 months with the services, through you, Madam Chairman, to the administration?
Through the chair, we anticipate the grant being awarded for an additional year, and then the services will continue.
So, through you, Madam Chairman, you will continue to contract with this individual upon the grant being continued, or will there be another RFQ for another person, or will this person continue on in that position? Through you, Madam Chairman.
Through the chair, this contract is just for the time period in the referral. It ends on August 31st. We'll have to make additional decisions if we get a grant again.
And through you, Madam Chairman, will those additional decisions mean having to request for other people to put another RFQ out for this position? Is that part of the process after August 31st? Through you, Madam Chairman.
At this time, our plans are only for this contract, for this grant. In the event we get something else, we'll make that decision.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Those opposed, none. Motion carries. Next item.
Referral 10-136.
Moved by Legislator Quattro, second by Legislator Rocco. Any discussion? Legislator Rocco.
I see the total of this grant was the same as last year. And how many folks did that grant cover last year? And do we expect it to be the same this year, or is it going to be less? Will it be less money available for each individual?
Through the chair, last year we served 60 HIV positive patients, and we're expecting about 63 this year.
Any other discussion? Any other discussion? No? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? Legislator Cayley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is just a spelling correction, and it's through the chair. It's only because I'm getting a little sensitive about my last name lately. I would like to thank Mr. Helfer and the administration for issuing some answers, a memorandum to some of the questions that I had at the last meeting. But I would just like to go on record as saying my last name doesn't look anything like this.
I did see that. Well, I was going to.
K-A-L-E-H. Thank you.
My apologies to the legislator. I don't know how that happened.
We'll have that corrected. I just had one other item that I just wanted to mention. I wanted to congratulate Kelly Reed and the Monroe County, her Department of Human Services. I was able to attend the Monroe County Nurse Family Partnership graduation ceremony at the end of March at the National Strong Museum of Play. There was 36 graduates in this program. I wanted to commend Kelly and Jobina Robinson, who runs this program, Dr. Donagers, too, under his direction. It was a really wonderful ceremony, second year in a row that we've done this, and I think it's a very worthwhile project, and I want to thank you for it, and I encourage anyone to attend this sometime, because it was really a good thing. So thank you. And seeing no further business, the April 27th meeting of the Human Services Committee will stand adjourned. The next meeting of the Human Service Committee is scheduled for May 25th, 2010, 6 p.m. right here.